Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach, and I think we were getting on a roll in the last one, oddly enough, even though we have like 8 things breaking in the integration tests. This in an odd way is actually good, because this means that I think if we just need to respect what the accessibility is, the declared accessibility on a member, and say that's what you need to put in when you're declaring it in the mock class. So now we just need to figure out where we do that. So let's see. Let's do the value builder first, because I bet somewhere. Well, that's interesting. We always assume it's public. If it's an explicit interface implementation, then if it doesn't, then we just say it's public, and that's not right. We need to actually say what it is really. Okay. So if we say result dot value, in this case to be a method symbol, accessibility. Now I don't think we have a, good look. No, we don't have an accessibility extension, because I don't think you can just say, for example, if I come here and I say F12 and we look at accessibility, like those aren't the names we want. These aren't the droids we're looking for. It's just do not change order of these enum values. Okay. Sorry, didn't mean to be mean here. So interesting. Yeah, friend is the same thing as internal, because friend is a VB thing, but there's no way to get like the text of it. So we're going to have a accessibility extensions. That's fine. Okay. Come on, go away. Come on, go away. And you go away. We can say static class here. And so we want something that's like internal static string get code value. This accessibility self. And we want to say self switch what will we put here? Accessibility. Well, we know public would be public. And then we can say all else is equal to string.empty, which is not right. But that's kind of what we want. Okay. So we could also say private, public, private, protected, internal. Now, didn't I have something I was just looking at, which is something like, no, that's can be seen by containing. Yeah, so we want to have accessibility is equal to protected internal. And there may, I don't know, what, is there like a extension method on this? This should only be used to get a stringified version of a default value. We want the default value, that's ours. I just don't want to repeat the same thing. Like there's no toString that converts the value of this instance to its equivalent string representation. It doesn't look like any of these are overloaded. And it doesn't look like there's a way. That's the thing I'm fearing, is that I'm actually redoing something that's already there. But that's okay. Are there any others? I don't think there are. We have internal, public, protected, or internal, protected, and internal, protected. Friend, we don't care about friend. Not applicable, we don't care about. Yeah, internal. I think we've got everything here. And then we could say here, throw new invalid enum value. Is that the one that's called? I can never remember. Ugh. Value enum argument exception, because of course. You don't know what that is. That's like yeah, why is it in component model? That one always like threw me. Argument name. Do we just want the argument name? We can say name of self. And then we just want the invalid value, right? Int of self, type of accessibility. There, okay. So let's quickly make a test method for this. And I say quickly because we're going to do a parameterized test for this. No, I don't want a fact. Stop assuming, even though I've been using NUnit in this whole thing, that public static void get code value. We want to have the accessibility here. And string code value. Okay. I'm going to say assert that. Wait, what am I doing here? Ugh. There. Okay. Assert that accessibility get code value is equal to code value. Okay, and so now the test case, I already forgot. Accessibility public should give us public. And there's a couple of others that we can start grabbing. And then we'll have one that does the exception. Protected will be protected. This will be protected internal. Right, it's or. And then the last one is protected and internal. And then we can have something like test get code value with invalid accessibility. So here we can say assert that accessibility friend, which is not something we support, code value, throws type of there. Let's run these tests. That's sealed, static. Because then once we have this in place, we can actually just plop this in and say, well, if it's an internal method, it's got to be internal. You know, we can't change accessibility on these things. Oh, what did I miss? Oh, yeah. We'll come back to you. One failed. Why did this? Oh, that's right. Because this is a, we could do that because they were equal. I even saw that when I was recording this, that they're the same thing. Duh. Okay. So now here, what we would want to say is, because we want a space there. Okay. And so what we want is, let's put a space there, and then we'll say result dot value dot accessibility dot get code value. And there you go. Let's make sure that we're doing the same thing in this is the void builder. Though we could put the space, yeah. Well, no, we don't, because if there is no space there, then we don't want to do that. Now, I'm kind of curious. What are we doing for like property builder? Do we have a public just floating around? Yes, we do. Okay. And I bet the same thing for an indexer. What an event. Events are weird. Yeah, we just stick an event there. I don't know if that's actually correct or not. It probably isn't. Okay. I don't know if that's actually to do. Can this always be public? I don't know. To the Sharp Labs. How are we finding mock information? It's an extension method, that's right. Get mockable events. It's got to be static. It's got to be can by reference by name. And it's got to be seen. So we have to have, we've got to have a test here somewhere, right? Like a class. Why would you just have generics? How would you do that to me? Class method index generic. Oh, fine, whatever. Do not declare event fields as virtual. Yeah, this is actually something that you're technically not supposed to do. Use generic event handler instances. Oh, events are so yesterday. Let's take this off. What are you complaining about? No, you know it should be system, so just put that there, right? And then, yeah, it's never used. And do I even care about this being T? In this case, I don't. And I don't care about this either. So if I had base class, and now I have public class subclass Joe's base. You can override my event, okay? But if this is protected, then you can't do that. It's got to be protected. There you go. So yeah, we need to do the right thing here, which is mock, wrong spot. I need to, no. I actually want to be here. Can this always be public? Well, I guess wouldn't, yeah, so we can do that, okay. And then we put that there, and then we just take this out. And so if it, yeah, solves that, Okay. Yeah, save it. Save it. And so here, I think we've now got everything. So if we come back up to our test, there's the one, non-public members. Yeah. Let's see what this does now. It still didn't generate any sources. Why wouldn't it generate any sources in this case? We have a abstract class with a protected find me. You should find it. To the debuggers. Great. So we get methods. We're going to do mockable methods again. I don't know why it keeps bringing up diagnostic tools. I keep shutting it closed, and I'm like, no, stop bringing this up. But it keeps insisting on doing so. What's the hierarchy type? It is an object. So that's fine. Let's F5. Because now the hierarchy type should be mock test test. It does find me. Is it sealed? No. So we should add it. So we did add it. There should be one. Well, there's 4 in there. Right? So we should be at least getting into the builder, right? Why does it not get into the mock builder? You have 4 methods. So why would you not? I'm kind of confused. I'm kind of confused that it doesn't even get to building it now, unless there's actually something wrong with my code here, which is entirely possible. Why would it be null? Why? Okay, start over. Start over. Is it because it thinks there's no constructor there? I don't know. So we have 4. We have no constructors though. If the type kind is a class, oh, and it's saying it can't be seen. But in the case of an interface, you obviously have none. So it's going to pass this. It's going to say constructors length is 0, and we couldn't find any constructors. This would be the same problem if we had a class that had a public virtual member on it, which it always technically will because there's the 3 that come from object. But the constructor itself is protected. That's what's happening is we have a error. At least we think we have an error. So I think we've solved one thing, which is we're now picking up that method. So that's good. But now we're breaking the other thing, which is we have another problem, which is what happens if you have a protected constructor. So I'm getting near the time here. So I think if we have this, what we're saying is if we have a public class test, okay, and then we have just some public void foo, doesn't matter, okay, virtual, but we have a protected test constructor, okay. This is okay, this is legitimate. I should be able to see this. You know, what I mean by see is a little different in these, this is hard to describe right now, but what I'm trying to say is this is something that from a constructor perspective, I have to be able to call. If it's internal, then I actually can't. Well, unless it's in the thing. If it's private, I can't. Like if I come back up to here and I say, oh, let's go to the mockable constructors. Can be seen by containing assembly. So this case, it doesn't have anything. Shouldn't it make a public? What happens in this case? if I have public abstract class test, and I don't have a constructor defined at all, but I say non-abstract void foo. Okay. What does it do from an IO perspective? There is a public, no, that's the foo. Family. What does family mean? Well, whatever family means, I bet it's not something that I know anything about. So tune in next time. I have a problem here in that if for a constructor we're getting a value that I don't know what it means. And I need to do that. So I'm going to do another episode because I'm kind of like there's a bunch of things in the stack of my head. And in this case, I know it's finding a constructor because there's a constructor being created, but it's not in a public sense. Like if I said here, public, and this is not good for an abstract class to do this. Okay. There's reasons why. If I come here, now we have the constructor is public. Okay. And if I made it protected here, it would now change it to being family. Well. So there should be a constructor coming out of this, but it's not public protected. Like what does family actually mean? So that's what I need to do. Okay. So I'm going to do one more episode because later tonight, my wife and I are going to the dinner and movie and I need to wrap things up. So I'll do one more today. And if I don't get this completely fixed, then I got Sunday and I can do it then. So thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.